The year is 7000 BC, somewhere between the Black and Caspian Seas. On the streets of Hissa, a strong man pledges a feat for which no superlative has yet been coined. His barker invites the streetgoers to witness to wager. And upon the turn, the strong man breaks the stone blocks against his own body. The skeptical Kargan mounts the stage to challenge the strong man, and loses. The barker, Changra, collects the bets as an ignoble noble demands the right of way through the crowd. The strong man yields to no such disrespect. The ancient Karen demands the strongman answer to him. But strongman defers not to those who travel on the backs of slaves. And so he kicks over the noble's litter. Now the spoiled noble demands his accoster's name. He is Atlas, the Untamed. And he now drags the hapless noble through the streets, ignoring the threat of a death sentence. Patrolmen arrive on the scene, poised for some excessive force. But Atlas simply waves the noble in the air as the human shield. Alas, it's all fun and games until a voice from the past calls out. But whose voice? Good evening. I am Funky Flashman, curator of the Kirby Museum. Who was Atlas? Was he the source of the Indo-European mythology? And what became of him? Those questions and more in tonight's episode. Atlas. Believe it or not. This is David Graves, author of such books as No Man Escapes the Manhunters and Project 7734. In his new book, Graves posits that the legend of Atlas is the actual source of the Indo-European heroic tradition. The Indo-Europeans were an ancient people whose culture originated near the Black and Caspian Seas. They were the ancestors of such peoples as the Celts, the Germans, the Hittites, the Slavs, the Iranians, the Greeks, the Pashtuns, the Latins, and more. Indo-European heroic traditions often tell of a storm god who, after crossing a wetland or body of water or even a river of fire, slays a serpent or dragon. This feat is made possible by a power source absorbed by the storm god. This storm god will then assume the position of authority previously occupied by the serpent. However, the god then grows to be as tyrannical as his predecessor and is often disposed by the same subjects he once freed. Returning to the streets of Hissa, Atlas turns his attention to the voice from his past and finally sees that face. Atlas then relates hiding in the cave while slavers burned his people's camp. He remembers when the slavers carried off his mother and how they bludgeoned his father. Brave but naive, he ran back to rescue his father. However, he was caught by a serpentine warlord whose helmet displayed a winged lizard. He remembers battering the warlord with strength beyond his years, and even outran the strides of towering raiders. The boy found cover while crossing a nearby marsh. Under a stormy sky, a local derelict compelled the boy to remain silent. He remembers hilariously overcoming the derelict's grip. Returning to the now charred camp, the boy recovered an eldritch crystal his father had safeguarded as leader of the tribe. The crystal is as many times the weight of its compact size. The derelict apologizes for failing to know who the boy's people were. Once they had been the tribe of the Crystal Mountain. Apparently, their crystal has changed the boy into a juggernaut. But where from did this crystal originate? Had it once been a part of a power-endowing meteorite? Was it a trinket smuggled from the gem world? Wherever the source, experts agree it never came from Sitarak. Young Atlas pitifully declares he is the leader now. A leader without anyone to lead. The derelict then finally introduces himself as Chengra and pledges his loyalty. Years pass and the pair earn their survival through great heroic labors. They even cross streams of fire. No matter the road, all roads have led to this moment. Here in the city of the Winged Lizard, Atlas confronts Hissa himself. The wicked warlord asks the strong man his name. Atlas simply identifies himself as your conqueror. And so there the legend ends. Incomplete. Or does it? In her exposé on Project 7734, journalist Lois Lane Kent cites a mysterious magical combatant who once pummeled the Man of Steel. The combatant claimed to have been the Atlas of Legend. During subsequent interrogation, the combatant described having overthrown Hissa only to govern some very ungrateful subjects. Believe it or not.